people who date the quote unquote same person over and over and over again until they learn their lesson, right? She helps you like understand why you might be repeating things, but just in a different time and with different people, but she's still repeating the same thing.
If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, you got the air quotes. If you didn't, Brad, his inflection should have hopefully helped you understand the air quotes that were in there.
Yeah. Brad is very good at...
He's better than Joey from Friends at air quotes. I'm sorry.
Well, what was one thing that you loved that Lauren said?
Thank you for asking. One thing I love that she said was how you received love as a child shapes how you expect to be loved today. Often those who had a frenetic childhood are chasing the high of chaos. And she went on a little bit like, how do you give and receive love? And is it keeping you in unhealthy patterns? It's a question she's having you ask yourself. So take a moment. How do you give and receive love? And is it keeping you in unhealthy patterns? So, you know, we all know the 5 love languages and things like that, but like actually think about it. Like the way you're giving and receiving love, is it actually helping you have loving relationships? Or is it in this chaotic, unhealthy pattern? Like these are important things. And then she also had some other examples like boredom is a driving factor and running from relationship to chase the high.
That's good. So what she was talking about, which I thought was really amazing, because I don't know, I never thought this way, but she said if you had chaos in your childhood, and actually she specifically was talking about helicopter parents, and she said if your parents were in and then out and then in and then out, and there was this chaos happening. You often expect that later on in life. So if you end up in a stable, relationship, it doesn't mean stable is good or bad. It just means it's the opposite of what you expected. So more often than not, you're inclined to feel like this is boring or this is safe or this is kind of meh, And
it's like when Carrie broke up with Aiden, everyone. She broke up with Aiden because they didn't fight. And
I don't actually know any idea.
Sex in the City. Everyone who's listening is nodding their head. They all know because that was a big deal. That was a whole thing.
So glad I was there for that one. Okay. It's like, guys, it's like, oh my God. It's like when Carrie broke up with Aiden.
Okay.
Because they didn't fight all the time.
Well, but it's I think people need examples sometimes.
I think it's a perfect example. I just was not there with you on that one.
It's fine. Everyone who's listening is with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're all with me.
No, but it's a perfect example because and then conversely, if you had a relatively stable, or quote unquote boring, like childhood love from your parents, and you find yourself in a chaotic relationship, you may be like, I can't do this, and anyway, I thought that was really interesting. I never thought about that before.
Yeah. And also, so first of all, Lauren has an incredible course and she has a bunch of services. There's also the book, Getting the Love You Want, which is a very interesting book about explaining the old brain, the new brain, and like how when you first get a relationship, you fill all of your own holes. So
Harville Hendrix.
Yeah. So you fill all your own holes to show people that, look, I'm this like perfect, amazing being and there's nothing crazy wrong with me here. I'm so good. And your partner, by the way, is doing the exact same thing. And then after a few months, it's so exhausting trying to fill those holes. But you don't even realize that you're doing it on a subconscious level. So you think that the person you're with is filled the holes. Like they've solved the problem. So then when both of you stop filling your own holes, you're like, you changed. They changed. Blah, blah, blah. Actually, no, you both just started to be your fucking selves.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so
Lauren talked about that at the very beginning. She talked about like, being lonely and filling that loneliness with someone who you shouldn't be with.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Who hasn't done that 17 times? Not personal. I just know I'm watched. But I think it's like, it's
calling on behalf of a friend.
Yeah, I'm just calling for a friend, actually. Anyways, it's a great book. If you're like, I don't know if I want to read the book. He was on Oprah and you can like get the Cliff Notes version, or you can just work with Lauren. But the reality is like, we have to stop pretending that how we were raised is not affecting the lives and the choices we have now. And then also we have to understand that like we are making choices. You may think things are happening to you and this is just the people that are around you and these are the only options, but we all actually have choices. And when you start to recognize that like how you are choosing to give and receive love is a choice.
Sure.
Even if you feel it's subconscious, it can actually be a conscious decision. When you make those changes, you can actually start to change the patterns of the day you have and find the person you want to have. And look at Lauren. Look where she's at right now.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. And what she's referencing is having moved through a very tumultuous time in her life to finding a place where she can be herself.